A very good evening to all of you. Let's just wait for a minute or so that more people can join in, and then we can start the session today. Okay, let's just wait for a minute or more. Get started. All right. So a very warm welcome to all the learners who have joined in. Uh, am I audible? If anyone, if you can react or just text me if you can hear me and see me as well. Great. All right. So here we are today in our second session, the problem solving session for the course of Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. In the previous week, we discussed about the week one content. We also did a content recap of the week one content. Apart from that, we started with the brief introduction of all the learners here and coming on to the slide deck. In the slide deck, we had certain sections comprising of the initial few slides of protocol slides, which had a range of slides pertaining to this course, the duration of the course, important things to remember for this particular course. After that, we discussed the content recap, which is basically to give an idea about what the content broadly covered in. So that was presented in a form of screenshots. Okay, so the actual the actual content was taken into small snippets, screenshots, and they were composed in a certain way so that we get a flow and understanding of what all contents were covered in. And this was actually followed by our set of 10 questions. And at the end, we had basically a column for discussion forum questions, which we will be discussing today itself. So before we begin the session, like I mentioned in my previous presentation as well, we first do a quick round of introduction. It's basically to understand the kind of diverse crowd we have, and it's always appreciable if you can turn on your camera at least for the initial part of this presentation, because going further, we just request you to either unmute yourself or you can, communicate through the chat box. So that functionality is also fine. All right. So if you're introducing yourself, it is appreciable if you can turn on your camera. If there is a network issue, it's fine. You can just unmute yourself and speak. And if that is also a trouble, you can actually text in the chat box and just, share your presence today in this particular session. Right. So I'll be taking out the names in the order which I can see in my screen. And accordingly, you can just let me know about yourself. All right. A very brief introduction, your name, your background. If you are a student, just tell me which course you are pursuing, in which year you are in, and in which college you are in. And if it is a credit mandate for you, this particular course, or is it just for out of interest you are, taking up this course, right? And if you can also tell me your, location, which state, which city you are based out of, that would also be good because we'll understand the kind of diverse crowd we have today in this particular session. All right. Uh, we will start with Chinmay. Chinmay Rajendra.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Chinmay, you are audible.
Okay. My name is Chinmay Rajendra Bargale. I am from Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, currently a second year BTech student of civil engineering. I'm pursuing this course because it is a credit mandatory. But I'm also keenly interested in this course, and I'm from Maharashtra state, Kavlapur.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Chinmay, also tell me, how have you progressed? So you are finished with your 2 weeks assignment.
Yes,
How was it?
it was quite easy. It was based on the lectures itself, so it was quite
Okay.
easy.
So no new set of questions. Huh? You were able to identify all the content and then you can answer the questions.
Yes,
All right. All right. Welcome, Chinmay.
thank you.
Then we have Shantanu Ramesh. Shantanu, we are just doing quick round of introduction. If you can unmute and speak, it's great. If not, you can just introduce yourself by typing in the message box. That's also fine. All right, then we have Khushi Pandey. Hello, Khushi, if you can briefly introduce yourself. We can't hear your voice. Meanwhile, Khushi is trying to find the solution to it. Yes, Shantanu, you can tell us about which course you are pursuing, in which year you are in, which city you are located in, and whether you have finished the 2 weeks assignments. All right, then we have Aditya, Aditya Kamble.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Aditya, you are.
Sir, my name is Aditya Sanjay Kambe and I'm from Walchand College of Engineering. I'm pursuing BTech in Electronics Engineering. And I'm also interested in this course of incubation and entrepreneurship, which is also mandatory for our credits. And I will be submitting the assignments today itself.
So, Aditya, how many assignments you have submitted as of now?
As of now, I haven't, but I will
Okay.
be now.
All right, all right. I think you have a day with you today and tomorrow. You can still submit. All right. Thank you, Aditya. We have Darshan. Darshan, if you can please introduce yourself briefly.
Hello, sir. My name is Darshan Dushing. I am from DJ Sangvi College of Engineering, currently studying in second year BTech in Information Technology. Uh, I joined this course because of credits and I have interested in entrepreneurship and learning about it.
All
Sir,
right.
actually, this is my first lecture, so I don't know about assignments and all. So, can you explain?
Yeah, yeah, we'll be doing it. Don't worry. Just try to be there in the session throughout. All your doubts will be cleared. Okay. And
Okay, sir. Thank you.
welcome for the session.
Yeah.
All right. We have Sukanya. Hello, Sukanya.
Hello, sir. My name is Sukanya Amol Kokate. I am from Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli. This course is a mandatory to us, and I have submitted the assignments.
Great. So you have finished both week one, week two both, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well done, well done. All right. Thank you, Sukanya. Then we have Bhumika. Bhumika Mane. Yes. All right. Dilip. From Dilip. And then we
Yes,
have,
sir.
yes, yes, from Dilip. Please.
I am Om Sogule from Walchand College of Engineering. I'm in my second year of BTech Electronics. This course was mandatory to us. So, yeah.
And what about your assignments? How far have you reached?
I have submitted both.
Great. So were they easy or it was a tricky one?
A few of them were tricky. I had to rewatch the videos, but most of them were easy.
Okay. Okay. That's good to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then finally we have Ganesh Bhave.
Yes, sir.
गणेश आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
I'm in second. Okay, sir. अभी आ रहा है सर.
अभी आ रहा है, थोड़ा ब्रेक होके आ रहा है, थोड़ा जस्ट ट्राई टू बी अ लिटिल लाउड. हाँ, थोड़ा तेज बोलना आप.
Yes, sir. Myself, Jairaj Ganesh Bhave. I am currently studying in Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, and this course is mandatory for us. Sir.
And assignments.
Assignment completed both.
All right, great. So if anybody is left, you can unmute yourself and speak up. Or meanwhile, we'll just try to read out what Shantanu has written. So he's also from Sangli, and he's pursuing his second year of electronics engineering course, and he's from the Nashik city. All right, great. So we have a few students. I think most of you are students only and doing this course from a credit perspective, which is completely fine. So what we'll do is, let me just try to reorient the entire session. I'll be sharing my screen and we'll be going through it. Right? So I believe my screen is visible. If any one of you can please unmute and let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right. So once again, welcome to all the learners who are present in this particular course. In the previous week, we conducted the week one live session, and today we are here to conduct the week two live session. The course name is Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. The instructor for the course is Professor V.K. Chakravarti sir from IDC Bombay, and my name is Abhishek. To let you know a brief background about myself. So basically, I am an architect, and after pursuing my architecture, I continued with my higher education in industrial design. So I did B Arch and Master of Design from SPA Delhi. It's a college in New Delhi. And after that, I was working for a while. I worked for companies like Infosys Think Design as a designer. And after that, I had my own startup. So I worked as a director and co-founder of the startup for 2 to 3 years. And then I shifted my, area of work to teaching, wherein I started as a visiting faculty, and then I was full-time teaching at few design colleges. And so after working around 8 years, I thought of taking a break and pursue more of learning and education. So I joined a PhD course, which is the doctoral program at IIT Roorkee. So currently I am in my third year of my research journey as of now. All right, let's begin with the session. So like I've said, the initial few slides will be like protocol slides. The idea is that we have a repeat section of all these slides because it has been informed and told to us that there is always a possibility that a new learner might come in any of these sessions, right from the beginning till the end. And in my past experience also, I have also, faced the same thing wherein, new learners joined by week 11 and week 12. All right. So to ensure that every learner gets to know the maximum and complete information about the course, we have, a slide deck of like 10-15 slides, which we repeat in every presentation so that, our basic fundamentals about the course duration, and all the important aspects are covered. All right. So that is the intent, that we keep on repeating these things, and it's anyways critical only. Let's do it like this so that if anybody is joining in, we can quickly address them. All right. I hope the screen is good enough to see the content. Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So the live sessions are basically here to help you in the current run of course. Let's just make it full screen start. Okay. We shall discuss and solve week specific assignments and a set of 10 questions other than the live assignment. We'll respond to the queries and questions if you have any doubts, if you have any clarifications needed. And this also includes the questions on the discussion forum. All right. So even if you have posted the question there, and even if I have responded in the mail, we'll be discussing the discussion forum questions in the presentation as well. What we'll be also doing is a content recap. Now, this is also something that is not a mandate, but I have realized in my past experiences of teaching is that many a time students just join in. All right, they don't look at the content, they didn't look at the week specific content, and when the phase of set of 10 questions comes in, uh, they don't feel very comfortable, right? So the idea is that you gain some confidence by looking at what content was delivered, so that you get a brief understanding about the content covered. So even if you have not gone through the content, but if you go through the week specific recap, it will be easier for you to understand and even participate in the discussion. All right. So it's basically to add an overview of week specific content. Okay, now what do I mean by week specific content? If you are already a learner in this course, you will understand that we have week specific contents from week 1 to week 12. It's a broadly a 12-week course. All right. So every week we are discussing that particular week's content, which will range from week 1 to week 12. In the previous session, we covered the week 1. So today we are here to cover the week 2 content. Okay. Now, let me just give you a brief idea about this second statement, which says we shall discuss and solve week specific assignments other than the live assignment. So what it literally means is that the live assignments are basically to evaluate your understanding of the content. All right. So that is why we'll not be going through the live assignment questions. But what we'll do is we'll have questions which are week specific, which means that those questions are pertaining to week 2 today. However, these questions will be different, but the typology and format will be very close to the assignments. So in a way, we are also evaluating your understanding of that this week's content. At the same time, we are also preparing you for your final exam. All right. So I believe since you are doing it for credit, it's always appreciable that you sit for all these week 12s and participate in the problem solving session, because you are getting a bonus of 120 questions. Now, if you go with every week, we are having 10 questions. So 12 weeks, we'll get 120 extra questions. All right. Which will basically be boosting your understanding. right? So it will, I have full confidence that it will prepare you for your final exam. All right, let's go ahead. So there are few expectations from all of our learners who are attending the session, that please keep your mic on mute so that we avoid any unnecessary and noise disturbances. Okay. However, if you want to speak, you have a concern, you have a query, you can unmute and you can speak. At the same time, if you know we are on the section of set of 10 questions, that time also you can unmute and speak. Yeah. Because we will want your participation, a dialogue, a conversation at that point. If you have any doubts over the set of questions or you need any clarity, it's always preferable to use discussion forum. Now, let me quickly elaborate a bit. How do you use discussion forum? You basically access it using this particular tab called Ask a Question. All right. When you click here, you go to Google Groups, and it's basically a Google forum wherein you can raise questions with a video timestamp. Now, what happens is that we have different stakeholders here. We have got all the learners enrolled in this course. So we've got more people joining in. Right, we have print them all. So in the discussion forum, all the learners enrolled in this course are there. They can access it. We have got team from the NPTEL. So they are also part of this particular forum. If there are questions related to uh, probably say eventually you will have questions around admit card and type and format of examination, or if there is a discrepancy in one of the questions, these people will basically help you answer those questions. And if you have any content related question or doubt, you have me as a TA who is a basically part of the problem solving session. All right. So you've got three different stakeholders. So the best part is that if anybody poses a question, all right, it goes to all these three different stakeholders. We all can see it, we all can access it. And if I as a TA respond to this particular question, then again everybody is able to view that. So I hope it was visible. I think today or yesterday I responded to two of the questions. I hope you received mail regarding it. So basically everyone gets a notification. So even if there is a doubt in one's mind and the other person also has the same doubt and nobody is asking question, but if there is a third person who asks a question and everybody doubts get cleared. So it's a fabulous platform which is offered by the NPTEL team, and I think you should make use of it. It's a very beautiful functionality. All right. This below screenshot is basically how your page looks once you have done your login. Okay. On the left hand side, you will see clickable buttons, CTAs or call to action, so that you can register for your examination. And in the left pane in light gray, you will see your content, week-wise content, which will be disclosed in a progressive manner. So every week a new content will be added. This section is very important because all the important and critical announcements are mentioned here. Eventually, you will get announcements about your admit card and your examination details. So please keep a watch. Apart from it, you also get information regarding the problem solving sessions, the links and reminders. Right. So announcement section is very much helpful. The same notification many times you will also receive in your email IDs. All right. So I hope everybody has enrolled and they would be receiving emails regarding the problem solving sessions. If not, you can please let me know. we can raise this as a concern. Going forward, progress is a tab wherein you can see your particular progress. The idea is to help you analyze your self appraisal or self improvement. You can see how you have been performing week wise, and accordingly, you can improvise your work in the upcoming weeks. All right. Okay. So, if you remember, I mentioned about keeping your mic on mute. Another important aspect is that all these sessions are being recorded. All right. And since these are being recorded, these will be uploaded on YouTube. At the same time, the presentation deck which I am using will be converted into a PDF, and it will be again uploaded into the Google Drive. All right. So you don't have to worry about these links, or you don't have to, take a screenshot or, copy it, because now you would be able to see all these things in the problem solving session tab. Okay. So remember, on the left pane on the light gray, you saw all the content. At the bottom now you will be able to see the problem solving session link. And when you click on the link, it will lead you to an Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, you will have the YouTube links as well as the link for the Google Drive, which will be having the PDF. Here you will have the video. All right. Now, why this functionality is made available? Because the NPTEL understands that, the learners can have their own schedules. Like, you might have your examinations. There could be professionals who have their meetings, engagements. So any learner who is a part of this course might have difficulty in joining these particular live sessions. So say, for example, you are unable to join a particular session, you have the functionality to access it through YouTube, to have access to all the PDFs, and then at the leisure and comfort of your time availability, you can actually go through these sessions. All right. So, whatever discussions we are having, whatever annotations I am doing, all these are being recorded, and these will be saved and uploaded in YouTube as well as Google Drive. All right. So, if you miss out on any particular live session, do not worry. You have it stored in a digital repository, which can be accessed using the problem solving session link. All the first timers who are attending the session for the first time, I think all these informations are also critical for you. So coming on to the broad overview of this course, the title is Understanding Incubation and Entrepreneurship. It's designed by Professor B.K. Chakravarti sir, who is from IDC School of Design at IIT Bombay. He also drives the DIC, which is the Design Innovation Center, again at IIT Bombay. All right. And as we have already mentioned, the week run is 12 weeks, started on July 22nd. The deadlines are important. The week 2 assignment deadline is 7th of August. And I think for week 1, it is also the same. However, for week 3, the deadline is 14th of August. So you can see every week you have a assignment deadline. All right. Also, a little bit about your final examination. As of now, the date is 26th of August, and either you will be attempting the exam in the pre-lunch slot or in the post-lunch slot. The information regarding the slot and your center and other details will be shared in your admit card, which will be given to you at a later stage. Okay. So as of now, you can just try to go through the course content, participate in all these assignments, have a good understanding, and probably in week 11, week 12, before that, before your final exam, you will receive all these informations in your mail inbox, as well as you will receive the announcements as well. All right. The notification will be published in the announcement section of the NPTEL portal. All right. So this is basically how your progress page looks like. Uh, I'm not sure whether you are still able to see it because the week 1 and 2 deadline was 7th of August. We are still one day, it's one day left for that. So probably day after tomorrow, you'll be able to see how your unit wise progress looks like. I think lesson progress would be visible and assignment progress would also be visible, but your evaluations, how much you have scored, won't be visible. The only reason being that the deadline is not yet over. So that is an important aspect. Once the deadline is over, you will be able to see your previous marks of week 1 and week 2 assignments. Let me see. Yeah, so there was a question I think just posted on the chat box. Let me have a look. Okay. See, regarding certificate, let us be very clear about it. If you are interested in the course, so this course is free and you are free to enroll and learn from this course. All right. So if you have interest and passion to know about entrepreneurship, the course is completely free. So that's what NPTEL gives you the liberty of, taking away the learnings, the takeaways from all these presentations. However, if you need a certificate, you will have to register for the course. All right. By registration, we mean that you pay certain amount, which is 1,000 rupees. You appear in a physical examination. All right. Just like you would have attempted your class 10th and 12th board examination, you have to go to a physical center. All right. You have to go to a physical center. You'll be given with a desk, probably a workstation, and with a chair, and you'll be sitting and appearing for those examination. All right. The pattern of examination, we'll be discussing it probably today, or ideally, it would be good if we discuss it at a later stage. All right. The last date to register for examination August 16th. So if you are doing it from a credit perspective, I would suggest that please do the registrations as soon as possible. Right. So somebody questioned that if you don't register, you won't get a certificate. So that's perfectly well understood. If you want to learn, you can do it without registration. But if you want a certificate, which can be utilized at your university or institute or college, you will have to register for the examinations. That is a mandatory thing to be done. Coming on to the criteria for certificate, basically we have three criteria. What we can say. So let's understand it because these things are important, and I want everybody to be very clear about how the marking is and what are the scenarios of marking. So what I've written is internals. Internal is basically your week wise assignments. So obviously we have 12 weeks, which means that we have 12 assignments. All right. But what NPTEL does is that it will evaluate and consider only best 8 assignments. Although it will evaluate all 12. Okay. But for consideration into marking, it will take the best 8. All right. कई बार ऐसा होता है, we don't perform that well, or there is always a confusion or a doubt left. So giving that as a margin, you can, the best date will be considered for your internal marks, and the weightage will be 25%. Okay. Now, external is something like a physical exam wherein you will be going it and attempting it at a center, and hence the weightage is higher, which is 75%. And these both, when clubbed, will lead you to your overall marks out of 100. All right. Now, the catch is at the individual scenarios. Okay. Which means that out of 25, you need to have at least greater than or equal to 12. In your external, you should have at least 30 or more. And overall, you should have 40 or more. Let's take case by case. Okay. Now, there could be a scenario where you score 20 out of 25. All right. And the externals, you might score 25 out of 75. Overall, you scored 45 out of 100. All right. Now, you have managed to pass through this criteria, which is greater than 10. However, you are lesser than 30. Okay. Although overall you are increasing marks out of 40, but in this scenario, you won't get a certificate. Okay. Let's take another scenario. You scored very well in this 75 marks. You got 60 out of 75. However, you do not took interest in your internal assignments. You probably missed out few of assignments, or you did not perform well, and you got 5 marks out of 25. So if you add both them, you get 65 out of 100. You're meeting this criteria, but you are not meeting this criteria. Again, no certificate. All right. So it's very important that you take your internal week-wise assignment seriously as well as the external seriously, because these have case-specific criteria, which is greater than 10 and greater than 30, greater than equal to 10 and greater than equal to 30. तो ये बहुत जरूरी है आप लोग को समझने के लिए कि इंडिविजुअली भी आपको इन दोनों क्राइटेरियाज को फुलफिल करना है, right? And the moment you do this, this will be automatically addressed. All right. So please take your weekly assignment seriously. Try to attempt it. And the best part about weekly assignment is that you can actually attempt it multiple times. Okay. So for example, you attempted your week 2 assignment, but the deadline is 7th of August, which is tomorrow. You feel that, maybe 1 or 2 questions are a little doubtful. What you can do is you can go through the content and you can reattempt those questions. You can change your options and then you can resubmit it. All right. So NPTEL gives you the ability to resubmit your assignments multiple times till your deadline is there. All right. So this is also a great way that you can improvise your marks, especially for your week-wise assignments, or what you can say internals. All right. I hope this part is very, very clear to all of you, because it is an important aspect. Since most of you are doing it from credit perspective, and hence both it is important for you to capture it and ensure that you qualify on all these criteria of internal, external, and overall market. Now, talking about the week-wise content, in the week 1 we have already covered these many aspects, which is about introduction to entrepreneurship, evidence-based entrepreneurship, GDC, STEM colleges, why startups fail, mistakes by startups, lean startup, 3 questions for startups, and journey of the notch, and the TED Talk as an additional learning material. In week 2 content, we basically covered topics around hand holding for entrepreneurship. It started with the journey of Mustafa, who basically established the ID business around batter. And then we had panel discussions with three entrepreneurs, Mr. Anurag, Mr. Amit, and Ms. Mayuri. And then, as a part of ALM, which is basically additional learning material. So, if you feel you can read more, you have a leisure time available, you are more interested in this, you can anytime go through these case studies which are available in the drive. So we are closing up on our first section, typology of questions. When there is a circle, it is basically single correct answer. These are also called, anybody? Radio buttons. All right. Which means that only one of this will be correct. So what paratha do I want? I can just select only one of them. Either I can select mix, gobi, aloo, or one. What do you want in your burgers? Which means that I have the option of choosing multiple. So from a quiz perspective, there are multiple correct answers. It can be all four of them, or it can be only two of them, or it can be, three of them. All these scenarios are applicable. However, depending upon what type of answers you choose, you might get marking accordingly. So again, this aspect also we'll be discussing. And here it comes, the marking of multiple choice questions. Okay. The moment you start getting your evaluations, some of you might question that you are getting marks in decimals. All right. So this was one of the cases in our previous call, previous few subjects that students are very unclear about how they are getting marked, and that's where we have added this slide, which basically tells it how you are marked. Okay, just take the time to read all these three pointers, and then I will be explaining it with one of the examples. All right, so just take a minute to read the 3 points. All right. Okay, so I have just added a scenario in front of you. The question says, which among the below are singers, okay, who are into singing profession? The options are A. Lata Mangeshkar, B. Shankar Mahadevan, C. Surya Kumar Yadav, and D. Amit Trivedi. So, who can tell me the correct answers? Anyone?
A. Lata Mangeshkar.
Okay, somebody said A.
A, B, and D.
A, D, and D. Anyone else?
ABD.
All right.
A, B, and D.
All right, all right. So I believe this was an easy question, not a difficult one. So let's take all these one, two, three scenarios and understand, how you will be marked. All right. All right. So option one says all options chosen by the student are correct. So the correct answers are A, B, and D. Why not C? C is associated with which profession? Anyone?
Cricket.
Perfect. And in what designation he's currently playing?
All rounder.
Yeah, so he's an
Batsman.
all-rounder.
Batsman.
He can bowl, he can bat, and in T20s he was basically the captain of the Indian cricket team. Okay. Okay. All right. So if I choose A, B, and D, I will get full marks. If I choose all the correct answers, I'll get full marks, which is perfect. All right. So all those who said A, B, and D, well done. You will get full marks. Now, if I select A, B, C, and D, I will not get any marks. Or if I select B, C, and D, then also I won't get any marks. Okay, why? Because we have chosen at least one incorrect answer, which is the C. Okay. However, if we select B, D, and then submit, here we have the provision of getting some partial marks. All right. So here, how you are getting partial marks? Because you have not selected C, which is the incorrect answer. All right. So there could be questions where there are multiple correct answers, which basically means you have multiple checkbox questions. And if you don't select all the correct answers, but you select only the correct ones, you will get partial marks. However, if you select any of the incorrect answers, there won't be any proportionate marking or partial marking. All right. I hope the point is clear. If anybody has any doubt, you can please unmute and ask this particular point. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So here comes the content recap. As I mentioned, the idea is to give you a brief idea about what the content was about in the week two, what all things we discussed, and then we will start with our set of 10 questions. All right. And before we start with the content recap, let me just do one thing. Let me share you the uh, previous session's brief overview. Uh, I was very happy to see that there were many learners who could stay on the call for around 2 hours. So I've highlighted those people and I'll read out their names. If they are there, it's great. If they are not there, I think we can call out your name as a token of appreciation. So in the previous session, it was Ankit Nayak who stayed for quite a long while. Alauddin Ayubi was also there for more than 1.5 hours. Then we have Saloni Pushparaj Singh, who stayed for quite a long time. And uh, Sahil Ashok was also there. Bushara Bashir was also there for more than 1.5 hours. Then we had Jairaj Ganesh Bhave, who stayed for quite a long while. Madhura Shashikant, Abhijit Mahadev Kamble, and Sukanya Amol, and then Thiru Venkadam, who was there for quite a long while. Radhika was also there. Shantanu Ramesh was also there. I think he also joined the call today. Then we had Chinmay Ranjan, who was there. Sanved Dibare was also there for quite a long time. And Prerna was also there. Yes, great. So applause for all of you. Well done for being there for most of the time. I think staying there is equally important as participating. So all those who are there in the call today, I would say that please join in for these sessions. It's primarily for the benefit of you guys, so that you understand well, you perform well in your examination, and next time I should see your name, in the next session when it is about you how long you stayed and how well you participated. So is anyone there in the session today whose name was taken? Anyone? I think the only person I could recall was Shantanu. Apart from that, okay. And Radhika was also there. All right. Oh, there are a few people. Great, great. Well done, guys. So good that you have been there. All of you have raised your hands and whose names have been taken. I appreciate your participations, and I hope that you, including all the others, will basically be thinking aloud in the set of 10 questions and participating in the questions. All right. So let's get back to our presentation. All right. So we discussed the story of Mustafa. Can anyone tell me what was the story of Mustafa? Although a brief snippet is here, just but can if anyone can just briefly tell me about this particular case? Nobody wants to speak.
Sir, can I?
Please do. Please do. Yes.
Sir, he had to leave his education because of financial crisis and join his father in farming occupation. And because of his teacher pursued him, so he started took up his studies again and ended up studying in NIT Calicut. Then he also did his MBA from IIM Bangalore, and during his graduation itself he uh, started up the idli dosa batter with his cousins.
Well done. Well done. What's your good name?
Chinmay Bargale.
Chinmay. Chinmay. Well done, Chinmay. Good. You have understood the entire content very well, I believe. So well done. Great. So as Chinmay mentioned, he had a very incredible journey of how he started, the kind of challenges he faced, and then establishing ID as a big brand, which is well aware, well known, and it's basically supplying across India, right? And I think that is really really very appreciable that something taking and scaling up this big that it is now supplying across India. So that's a great story of Mustafa there. Also, we have certain, headlines or sentences which actually made quite a good impact. Like developing an entrepreneurial mindset is key to reduce doubt, fear, and anxiety. It can also help to drive action, focus, and growth. And you don't have to be titled as an entrepreneur to have an entrepreneurial mindset. And then all the panelists were asked to, respond to what their understanding of entrepreneurial mindset is. And Amit responded that it is about how you convert a rejection into an opportunity, right? So that's where the entrepreneurial mindset comes in, converting rejections into opportunities. Then we had people from GDC who were basically talking about, including Rajiv Jain, who was Chief Operating Officer at GDC. And then these were the three panelists who were a part of GDC program, and they had been performing really well. So they shared their life journeys, their experiences, the kind of ups and downs they faced, and what suggestions they can actually give to the aspiring entrepreneurs. So it started with Anurag and how he shifted through a lot of areas, right from fetal monitor applications to healthcare to AI-based solutions recommending the cosmetics. So he's an IIT Bombay alumni who worked on these areas. And then these were some few more solutions which he suggested in his journey. Talk to customers and even to strangers. Do not talk to your friends and family about the product. Now, this is a very, very important statement which has been loud and clear in this week's assignment, which was week 2 content, that we need to talk to the customers and not necessarily the people who are easy to reach, which includes your friends, your family members, but we need to talk to customers, which are basically your potential customers. That also includes strangers. All right. Do not talk about your product or idea. Listen to what customers have to say. All right. So this is again a key insight. And then they discussed about their two programs, I Incubate and I Ignite, which varies in duration from 8 weeks to 3 to 12 months. All the three members were a part of I Incubate program, and some of them also went into I Ignite program. Obviously, it's basically from a stringent selection process that they are selected into all these programs offered by GDC. Okay. Now, again, these are some very, very interesting and catchy lines which I felt that you should be aware and you should note it down, that it is crucial to understand difference when the customer is complaining and when they need something. All right, we might complain about n number of things, but not necessarily that we need all these things. Okay, so there is a distinction between the two, and it's very hard, to address and to understand that what are the complaints and whether they are translating into the needs of the user. Correct. So that is something which is an important takeaway from the session. Customer discovery translate the founder's mission into a reality statement by Steve Blank. And the questions about what does entrepreneurship mean to you? Anurag said that getting it done attitude. So at any cost, you get the job done, get the work done. That's the entrepreneurship meaning according to Anurag. And when they were further asked about what do you mean by entrepreneurial mindset, so one of them responded that how you convert rejection into an opportunity and the courage to bring about a change and impact without losing focus. So focus remains a critical key in this journey. Then comes questions around how GDC played a role in shaping their skills, and it helped them in starting to talk to customers. Now again, if you see, customers take the prime importance. Talking to customers is something which they pushed. They wanted all their incubatees to go and reach out to the customers, talk to them, and then understand. Talk to customers, even to strangers, and do not talk to your family and friends. Now, when this question was asked to Amit, he said that, busting the misconception that what we are building is what is required is something they understood while being at GDC. Also, customers do not care about trends and buzzwords. So, AI, machine learning, they do not care about it. What they care about is that how and what product you are offering and what kind of value addition it is doing in their lives. That is something which matters more. The benefits you try to give to your customers do not always translate into value they got. The customers do not care about the features or technology. And these are very interesting, insights that people are busy. They will not even use your product even for free if there is no need. Okay. So getting to onboard somebody, it's very difficult because everybody is very busy. Our lives are very busy. And in this particular scenario, it has been really rushing around. Finding one thing that you can integrate in your product so that customer is willing to pay even a single rupee. Okay, so to get the money out of the consumer is also very challenging. So you need to have that power in your design that the people are willing to invest to buy your product, to buy your service. And when the question about customer discovery process and GDC bootcamp was asked to Mayuri, she mentioned that notions we had about our product were broken down. So she mentions a lot of challenges in her journey, and this included we got a problem solution fit for customers, not for a general problem. And we have already discussed the statement. And then our startup had a proper organization with business model gaps. This we discussed in the previous week. What would you like to tell the aspiring entrepreneurs? Money and the glamour is overrated. Money is not the cause why I started, it's the product market fit. So, according to him, it is the product market fit which actually leads to dying of the startups. And Amit said that learn to say no and learn to hear no as well. Okay. Funding never justifies the success of startup. You might have heard that, they raised these many $1 billion and this. So that is not a measure and not a rubrics of how successful a startup is. Think about your customers before worrying about the funds. It is a myth that in a startup you are on your own boss because there are so many external factors as well, right? So that's there. And then what if your startup idea did not align with your passion? It would have been very hard for Mayuri, for a purpose driven person like her, to not align their startup with their vision. And it could have been a different product, but there could not be a different vision. So that is how they say that how the passion and vision are so critical when they are visualizing their startup and the offerings of their startup. All right. So here we come to our set of 10 questions. Let's just take a break of 1 or 2 minutes and we'll continue with our session. All right. So we'll be back in couple of minutes and we'll continue. So I hope the students are back. So let's continue with our session. So those of you who have joined in late, what we have done is that we have covered the set of protocol slide as of now. We have covered the content recap, and now we'll be starting with our most important section for the problem solving. You know, which is the set of 10 questions, additional set of 10 questions pertaining to the week specific assignments. Okay, so again, I'll appreciate all of you to please respond. If you don't want to speak, you can at least text in your preferred answers, but I would request you to please unmute yourself and speak out so that we can do a quick round of voting. And again, I would like to reiterate that even if you respond to a question correct or incorrect, we are not marking you, we are not judging you. It is basically to have a dialogue, to understand what are the different answers there could be correct to a particular question. So feel free to speak up your choices. And we are not calculating any marks. We are not giving you any marks for these particular sessions. All right. So feel free to participate. Participation is important, and I would really appreciate that. All right. So this is the very first question. And the question reads like, what is batter blast as mentioned by Professor V.K. Chakravarti sir in Mustafa's success story in module 2? Okay. We are talking about batter blast. It is a philosophy on which Mustafa's business model is based. It is a metaphor used to describe the booming business of idli batter industry in southern India. It is an explosion-like phenomena which can occur due to the expansion of idli batter when it over ferments in a sealed bag, and it is a term which got famous to describe a surprise party organized by Mustafa's cousins to celebrate their success. Okay, so you've got
Option C.
option C. Okay, so people have started responding. I've got 2 votes for option C. Others, please, you can be allowed. You can text your options, your choices, or you can unmute yourself and speak. What we are discussing is about batter blast and what could be the possible interpretation to it. We have got 4 choices here. It's the business model philosophy they are talking about, or a metaphor to describe the booming business of idli batter, or a phenomena where actually there is a blast happening, or it was about a surprise blast or a surprise party organized by the cousins. All right. What it could be, the interpretation of batter blast. As of now, we have got 3 votes for option C. Although we have more than 15 people in the call, I would request you to please at least share your voices, share your opinions. What could be the answer, A, B, C, or D? The remaining 12, please.
I think it's C, sir.
Right. So most of the votes are going for option C. Well, actually, it is option C, which is about the explosion-like phenomena. है ना, एक blast होता था क्योंकि इडली बैटर जो था जब वो ओवर फर्मेंट हो जाता था तो it used to this is a it would become something like this, and suddenly it would blast and it would create a sound and it would तो पूरा जो बैटर था वो फैल जाता था, ब्लास्ट हो जाता था. So that was something which they defined as batter blast. So all those who have said option C is the right answer. Well done. And this is discussed in the very initial part of module 2, right? Okay. Now, again, the question is related to Mustafa and around the business around ID. As discussed in module 2, Mustafa created the software to handle which of the following functions for its idli batter business. So he created a software to handle certain issues, right? Software helped Mustafa to find the right investors for his business. It helped to organize his supply chain. It helped identify and supply the right quantity to the local store with no refrigeration facility. And the software helped Mustafa to predict the financial outcome of his business transactions.
Option B and C.
Okay, we've got two votes for B and C, one each. Anyone else? Here we are understanding the need of developing a software, or how the software came handy. In Mustafa's case, the options are to find the investors, to organize supply chain, to identify and supply the right quantity, and then to predict the financial outcomes. So, why do you think it is option B and C? Can you please help me understand your point of view? Chinmay, was it you?
Yes, sir.
या तो आप एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं क्यों ऑप्शन बी एंड सी इज करेक्ट.
Sir, Mustafa sir had it as a solution to the problem of batter blast because some of the stores did not have the refrigeration facility as well. So he created the software so as to uh, establish the right quantity of batter that is to be supplied to the stores who don't even have the refrigeration as well as who have the refrigeration facility. So the software helped them to organize their supply chain, that is what amount of supply actually is to be done.
Well done. I think it is more or less correct. See, the incidents of batter blast were happening because of the over fermentation. All right. And over fermentation will happen when the batter is not consumed in a given time. So, which means that it overstays at the local stores, right? So, to address this problem, so overstaying means that there is some issue with the supply chain, demand and supply. All right. So, for that, he created the software so that he can address this issue of supply chain. When the issue of supply chain was sorted out, then this overstaying of their product was not happening because they were supplying only the amount required for the local consumption. All right. And that helped that even the owners who did not had any refrigeration facilities, because जैसे बोलते हैं ना हाथों हाथ बिक जाता था, तो जितने वो सप्लाई करते थे उतने idli batter were getting consumed and taken up by the people. So the over fermentation was not happening because it was getting consumed in a given time, right? So let's see the check from the content. Software to organize supply chain network, selling the right quantity to local store with no refrigeration. Large stores with refrigerator can buy and keep it for longer. All right. So as Chinmay mentioned, it helped in both the scenarios where the facility either they had a refrigeration or even if they don't had. So those who had can keep it for a longer period of time, and those who do not have, they need to be given the right quantity. And this was all being done through the software. So the correct answers are help organize the supply chain and help identify and supply the right quantity to the local store with low refrigeration facilities. Alright. तो अगर इसमें एक और ऑप्शन होता जहां पे वो लार्ज फैसिलिटी की बात करते हैं with refrigeration for longer storage, probably वो भी हमें टिक करना होता है. All right. Like you see, large stores with refrigeration can buy and keep it from. Okay. So I'm also telling you, what kind of question we asked. So although in this particular given set of choices, you have only B and C. However, if there is an added option that, for large factories and places where they have refrigeration, the supply could stay for a longer period of time. Probably this will also be a correct answer. All right. Okay. Now coming to our question number 3. According to Mr. Anand, who is basically from GDC and who was coordinating all the discussion with the panelists, startup is never a one-man's team. Having same dash is critical for binding the team together. Okay, the options are love of product, background, personality, and passion.
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 Okay, so I've got 2 votes for passion. Anyone else? Startup is never a one man's team. Having same dash is critical for binding the team together. Is it the love of
Passion.
product?
Option D.
Okay. Is it background? Is it personality or is it passion? So 3 people have voted for passion. Are there any more thoughts? Any more opinions, suggestions, votes? Okay. Let's see the reference. A startup is never a one man's team. What you require is a team with multiple people having diverse background. But what is important is that having the same passion for binding the team together. So can anyone tell me in which of the 3 panelists this was quite evident? So there were 3 panelists. And which among the 3 had this particular aspect being discussed? Very loud during the panel discussion. So let me help you with Amit, Anurag, and Mayur. So in which among them this was clearly discussed? Anyone?
Amit sir.
Okay, anyone else? All right. So if you recall, you can revisit Mayuri's interview, and she basically shared how it was the passion. Although each one of them would have this particular aspect, but explicitly it was raised by Mayuri for his team, wherein he had 3 people from 3 different backgrounds. But it was the passion that kept them together and worked towards it. All right, so well done. Most of you said the correct answer as passion, so you get full marks. Great. Let's come to our question number 4. As mentioned by Anurag in module 2, what were his moments of truth? Talking about the moments of truth to motivate him to pursue an entrepreneurial career. वो कौन से सच्चाई के क्षण थे जिन्होंने मोटिवेट किया अनुराग को that he should pursue a career as entrepreneur? The options are Anurag's empathy towards user and customer. Anurag's family already had a few entrepreneurs from where he got his guidance. Anurag was not afraid to explore personal business venture options as required skill set were already known to him, and Anurag's dream was to become a famous since he was child. Got four options.
A and C.
Got votes for A and C. Anyone else? Again, feel free to respond to the questions. We are not marking you, we are not evaluating you, we are not judging you. The idea is to get everybody on board and start participating. Nobody wants to reply. All right. Let us see the call factor. So if you go through the content and in the module content around at a timestamp of 10 minutes or so, you will hear the correct answer, which is he mentioned about being empathetic towards the users and customers and not being afraid of taking the risk startup instead of taking up a job. So the correct answers are Anurag's empathy towards users and customers, which is clear, being empathetic towards the users and customers. And the C is was not afraid to explore personal business venture options. 8 second, 8 second. Just give me a minute. Huh? Huh? So let's continue with our question. So yes, the correct answers are A and C, and I think one of you responded with that. So well done. Let's move to our fifth question. Fifth question says, as mentioned by Amit in module 2, complete the following sentence. Business is not just what you are working on, but what your dash is letting you to work on.
Environment.
That was very quick. The options A, B, C, and D are hard, financial status, environment, and mentors. So you've got one option for, one vote for environment. Anyone else? So I can see in the chat, some of you have mentioned option C again. Okay. Business is not what you are working on, but what your dash is letting you to work on. Is it your heart? Is it your financial status? Is it your environment? Or is it the mentors? Got two votes for environment. Let's see. Business is not just what you're working on, but what your environment is letting you to work on. So well done, both of you. The correct answer is environment. Very well done. All right. Now, coming on to our sixth question, just read it for a while and then we'll see what the correct answers are. It's related to Amit and his reasons to pursue an entrepreneurial journey. So you need to tell what are the correct reasons. So read the reasons, all the four options you have got. All these are square. So if you have multiple, all right. answers. All right. So just read it and let me know what are the correct answers. This is pertaining to Mr. Amit. And about his reasons to pursue an entrepreneurial journey. So let me read out the options. Amit evaluated his preference to not earn a stable income for his family at the moment. Okay. तो उसने अपना प्रेफरेंसेस को इवैल्यूएट किया कि not earning a stable income for his family at that moment. So he discussed with his family that, do we need a stable income or not? That is the first option. Amit avoided getting influenced by peer pressure to take up a job. What do you mean by peer pressure? Anyone? Peer pressure का मतलब क्या होता है?
Influence of our friends.
Yeah. तो जो आपके colleagues हैं, so if you are in a class, it could be other students. If you are working, you're in a job, it could be the other people who are working with you. So he did not got influenced by the other students who were taking up jobs just after college. Third is Amit evaluated his skill sets. उनके जो अपने skill sets थे उन्होंने evaluate किया and he decided that he can always take up a job if the startup journey does not work out. Okay, so he had a plan that let me try and give a shot to the startup, and if it does not work out, I can always take up a job. It could be a corporate job, could be any kind of job, but he can meet his ends if the startup does not work out. And finally, Amit was determined and had a business plan to turn his idea into success after graduation. So he says that just after graduation, he had a business plan ready. So let's invite all of you to start voting. One vote I can see on the chat
A
is
and B.
okay. A and B. One person had voted B, C, and D. Others, please join in. You can text your options or you can unmute and speak. As of now, we have got votes for all the four options, which is interesting. Got two votes for B, one vote for A, one vote for B, and one vote for D. Reasons for Amit to pursue entrepreneurial journey. तो क्या कारण थे कि उन्होंने अपना स्टार्टअप जर्नी शुरू किया? B and D, B and C. Great, great. Well done. More votes are coming in. Please continue voting. Okay. So as of now, we have got four votes for B, which is Amit avoided getting influenced by the peer pressure to take up a job. All right. The second best option is he evaluated his skill sets that he can always take up a job. The second, also with two votes, is Amit was determined and had a business plan to turn his idea into success. And we have got one vote for the option that he evaluated his preferences. He discussed with his family whether they need a stable income or not at that particular moment. Okay. So interesting. We can see the votes for all the four options. Now let's see which are the correct answers. Evaluating my preferences, wherein he basically means about talking to the family, avoiding peer pressure to take up a job, evaluating his own skill set, having a risk taking mindset, and balancing between money, livelihood, and happiness. So, here, if you see, our answers basically lie in these aspects of evaluating my preferences, avoiding the peer pressure, and evaluating his own skill set. So let's get back to our drawing board and let's see the correct answers. So those of you who said A, B, and C, you are correct. Well done. D is not the right answer. So the right answers are A, B, and C, which is evaluating that the family doesn't need a stable income because if you recall, his brother was already working, his father was also generating some income, so there was not urgent need for him to basically do a job. Okay. Second thing was he did not get influenced by his friends and students who were basically taking up a job. And then he evaluated his skill set and he realized that let me try and give a shot to the startup. And if it doesn't work, I can anyways do a job. Okay. So basically here, we can see that, how the decision making is happening. You guys are also in some kind of stage wherein, down the line of 2 years or say 4 years, you'll be at a stage wherein, you are seeing your friends getting placed, but you have your own idea which you think can actually work. It can be turned into a startup. So, you can actually take lessons from his story and what kind of decision making process he followed to take up a decision. All right. So but the factors may be different in your case. For his case, these are the factors. Okay. For your case, it might be that the financially you need to be supportive to your family as of now. All right. So you have to take your decisions considering your situation, your circumstances, and then go and proceed with your journey. All right. So congratulations for those who responded with A, B, and C. Even if you responded A and C or B and C or C alone, you will get third and partial correct marks. Okay. Let's just see if somebody else is joined in. All right. All right. Okay. So the question says, according to module 2, what was Mayuri Chopra's motivation to become an entrepreneur? तो क्या motivation थे that Mayuri became an entrepreneur? The options are to create new breeding ground for endangered coral reefs, to conserve and protect the marine life, to build healthier oceans for an overall impact, and to create an affordable packaging material.
B and C.
Got votes for B and C. We have got one person saying B and C. All right, anyone else? Rewards have been given to conserve and protect marine life and to build healthier oceans for an overall positive impact. Can anyone tell me what was Mayuri's background?
She was Masters of Biology Sciences.
She was a marine biologist. Okay. And when you say to build healthier oceans for a positive impact, what do you basically mean? To get rid of what? Basically the
Plastics.
menace. Yes, yes, correct. Menace of plastics. Well done. Correct. So questions can be asked in all these different ways. So I'm just highlighting so that you are aware and you can recall it. So it's basically was their idea was to address this key issue for which they created a material, right? Common vision of making healthier oceans for marine life and a better planet. This is what we are talking about. Master of Biology Sciences, Marine Biology. She is there. So well done. The correct answer is to conserve and protect the marine life and to build the healthier oceans for overall positive. So well done. You guys have actually gone through the content intensely. Well done. Okay, coming on to our eighth question. The question says, according to Anurag, what were the most exciting moments? Exciting moments in his entrepreneurial journey, explained by him in module 2. So, in general, I would believe that please go through the challenges and the low moments as well as the exciting moments of all these three, because the question might come up for any one of the three panelists, which includes Amit and Anurag as well as Mayuri, right? So keep a watch on all these three critical aspects of what suggestions they are giving, what challenges they faced, what were the high and low moments, what were the turning points, what were the pivot points of their startups. All right. So the options here are: when the customers wanted to buy Anurag's product in his first venture from the initial stages itself, when the feedback and positive testimonials of doctors and other users validated the product, at the point when he realized that he can let go of college placements to pursue his dream of becoming an entrepreneur, or to keep creating new business ventures.
A, B, and D.
So people are saying A, B, and D. All right. Others, please tell. We are basically discussing about exciting moments of Anurag's journey of startup and basically the entrepreneurial journey. The options are: when the customers wanted to buy his product from his first venture in the very initial stages at the very beginning of his startup, when he got the good feedback from the doctors and got validation of the product, and the point when he realized he can let go of college placements and keep creating new business ventures. Anyone else? We've just got one person voting from one person for this particular question. Anyone else? All right. Let's validate it with the content. The question is, what are the exciting moments? The answer was product sales and money acted as a motivating factor, which basically means the sales basically means people were purchasing his product, and feedback and testimonials of the product by the users. Okay, so if you see, the correct answers are: when the customers wanted to buy product in the first venture, and then when the feedback and the positive testimonials of their users validated the product. All right. So the correct answers are A and B for this particular question. Now coming on to our second last question. What were the challenging moments Mayuri's team had to face during her startup journey as explained by her in module 2? So now in the previous question it was about excitement. In this question it is about challenging moments. All right. इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि तीनों के अमित, अनुराग and Mayuri, please go through these exciting and challenging moments so that you can address any of the questions around it. So now
A,
here we are.
B, and C.
Okay. So let me read out the options.
Sir, B as well.
So the options are: Mayuri's team was hitting many dead ends in the product development. The biodegradable packaging already had major players posing stiff competition. The research on the initial idea needed more time and money, and the team was not able to find suitable vendors to help them distribute the developed product. Okay. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by hitting many dead ends? इसका मतलब क्या होता है? What do you actually mean by hitting many dead ends? इसका मतलब क्या है? Anyone? See what people are writing in. Getting stuck with no signs of progress. All right. Om Philip has mentioned that. Anyone else? Okay, so I think what Om has mentioned is more or less correct only. Dead end means there is no sign of progress ahead, है ना? वो वहां पे आके प्रोडक्ट का डेवलपमेंट रुक जाता है या फिर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ही नहीं हो सकता, सिनेरियोज wherein you cannot proceed ahead. These are called dead ends, right? So we have got votes for option A, B, and C, all three of them. However, if we see respective voting, we have got two votes for option A, one vote for option B, and two votes for option C. Let's see the correct answer through validation. They were hitting continuous dead ends in the product development, which is correct. There was high competition in the market for similar products. तो competitiveness भी आ रहा है. The research on the initial idea needed more time and money. पैसे और समय का खेल भी आ गया. It is when the team decided to start development of the backup idea. And few other options are, after doing more research on backup idea, the team realized the potential it had. It is when the team took credit and switched their main idea. Apart from that, challenge of how to decide on the application of a versatile product and the disappointment of getting rejected. Alright. Now, if you see from the first three answers, which includes hitting dead ends, high competition in the market, and then they needed more time and money to develop their initial idea. So option A is correct, option B is also correct, and option C is also correct. So well done. Who has said A, B, and C? Some of you or one of you mentioned A and C. So I think you'll also get partial marks. So that's also appreciable. Now comes question 10 and the final question of this particular session. According to Anurag, complete the following sentence. Money is not the cause why a startup died. It is the dash fit. Goals and objective.
Product market fit. Option C. Product market fit.
All right. B is user customer, C is product market fit, and D is needs and want. We have got one vote for product market fit. Anyone else who would want to answer, share your perspective?
C.
All right. We are talking about Anurag and what he mentioned in terms of how startups die, and I think this has been also discussed in our today's session in the content recap. So if you have been aware and you were joined during that time, you would be able to address the answers correctly. So we have got 4 votes for option C, which is product market fit. And it's clear in point number 2, money is not the cause by startup die, it is the product market fit. So very well, responded. Correct answer is product market fit. So I think in today's session, those of you who responded, they were very close and probably more than 80% answers were correct only. So thank you for participating in that particular question set. Now let us come to two questions. This we raised that, in the previous week one, the question was from a learner which said that, making packed foods, isn't it harmful if we consume it daily? Because it can contain preservatives. If it is really harmful, what are the common preservatives do these products contain? Now, I would like to reach out to the participants, if you're able to identify, you know, what could be the answer to this question by a learner. So anyone who would want to speak, anyone who actually searched for this question, it's basically your peer only who had asked the question. So anyone,
Sir, can I?
please do. Yes.
Sir, some of the common preservatives that are used in packed foods are ascorbic acid, sodium benzoate, and benzoic acid. So these are the few preservatives used.
All right. And what about if we consume these foods daily, packaged food daily?
Yes, these result in digestive problems, bloating, such crisis, and also there are if the consumption is more to out of limit, then it could also cause heart attacks and chronic diseases.
Right. Well done, well done. Very well answered the question. I think that's very, very true. Uh, so, consuming packaged food daily has a high health risk involved. What I have presented here is some brief snippets of the various research papers which has been published highlighting the dangers of, consuming fast and processed food and processed and packaged food. So if you see, these ingredients make the processed food taste better and more palatable, but leads to serious health concerns including obesity, heart diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, and cancer. Right. So that's there. So you can look around uh, broadly on the online media that there are numerous number of research papers which are highlighting the risk of processed food. Obviously, consuming it daily and very habitually is not good for your health. So, and we are from a country wherein we believe in sattvic food, है ना? आयुर्वेदा के हिसाब से अगर आप देखें तो consuming a food in the right way, in the right manner, only when you are hungry, and so all these things matter a lot. पैकेज्ड फूड का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वो ज्यादा वेस्टर्न देशों में रहा है, बट इंडिया में इट इज ऑलवेज अबाउट कंज्यूमिंग फ्रेश मील्स, है ना? आयुर्वेद में तो बोलते भी हैं कि अब बासी खाना हम लोग उतना नहीं खाते हैं, ठीक है? सो at the same time, I think it's also about how we reflect onto our rich past, how we reflect onto our rich cultural heritage, the kind of processes we have been following, and obviously, overconsumption of anything will lead you to certain health risks, whether it is food or whether it is, your time on digital media. Both will have equal risks. Okay. Great. So let's take the second question. The question was from a learner who asked about, who exactly are entrepreneurs, right? So if you see, you know, it was very well answered in the week one content, and I have also highlighted in form of screenshots that these are the people who spot opportunities where others see confusion, where others see arrogance, where others see problems, but they see opportunities and they convert these opportunities into business models and business companies. Right? How do they do it? They break the new grounds to solve the problems and bring economic prosperity in the country, and they are the leaders and have a good grasp on all aspects of business, right from planning to execution to finance, products, and ideas. All right. So it is a possibility that in one person you have all these qualities, but if not, then obviously you will have a team of people who work together. All right. And just to give you a glimpse of the entrepreneurs, and especially in the Indian context, you have Ritesh Agarwal, the founder of Foyer Rooms, Shraddha Sharma from the Your Story, Havesh from Ola. Although it's written Ola Cash, but now Ola is getting into Ola Electric and a lot many other dimensions. Paytm, Zomato, Flipkart, Kunal Shah, Make My Trip, Buy Juice. So, at the same time, you'll also see that, there have been a lot more up and downs in the life of these people, startups, whether it is Buy Juice, right? Or Paytm with respect to either the company policies or how the funding was, and or there was a discrepancy in the finance management. So that's how the life is. It's not as easy and same. Entrepreneurs are always on the toes. They are always running around trying to address and meet the needs of the startup, right? So with that, I think we have concluded our set of presentation deck as of now. Come back here. So, if anybody has any further questions, you can ask now. So, Chirag has
Sir, I have a
mentioned.
question.
Yes, yes, please.
Sir, now that we said that many of the packed foods contain preservatives and they are harmful for our health. So, if someone wants to start up with the packaged food adding preservatives, then how can we convince the customers that to buy our product, even if it is harmful for our health?
It's a very interesting question. See, there are multiple aspects in this particular question. One is that the health concerns and the health risk, get accumulated when you do it repeatedly and in a longer period of time. Okay. You do not become obese just by consumption of one or two meals, right? If you develop a habit of consuming it very regularly, two meals a day and then continuously for months, slowly you eventually develop, these health risks which involve, blood pressure and these things. So there are many people who eat, say, for example, once in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and they are doing perfectly fine, right? So, what I'm trying to say is that health risks are in any of the aspects. Even if you are sitting on chair for more than like half an hour without shifting your postures, you are liable to get musculoskeletal disorders, right? But then there are people who are designing chairs. There are people who are giving you furniture options. है ना? So what we as a product developers can do is that on being ethical in our part, that we share with a disclaimer that overconsumption or continuous consumption can cause health risks. Okay, so you give that disclaimer to the user and let the user take a call, right? Now, during pandemics or when there is a natural calamity or there is flash floods, you are cut off from all the things. What you have is only packaged food. You'll have to be living on that. Okay, so there are various factors and risks involved, but I think the way to look at it is that how ethical you are, in that particular aspect. I remember, I think in Instagram or YouTube, they added a feature wherein if somebody would scroll it for a long period of time, it will just give a nudge notification that you might want to take a break. I don't know if it is still there or not, but it is just an example of how you can play the good, your role with a good and a better hat, rather than claiming then that people will be involved in risks. So it is how you place your positioning, how ethical you are to your user, how transparent you are to the user. And also many times, if you are consuming the food within certain durations. So if you take the example of batter, I think obviously it has a date of expiry as well. उसके बाद आप consume करेंगे तो obviously it will have a certain impact. ठीक है, so वो चीजें भी हैं. And the third is that all these food items, they need to be uh, certificated by FSSI, which is given by the food authority. Obviously, they check the levels of what kind of preservatives, what composition it has, whether it will have an health impact or not. And obviously, whatever comes in the food domain, they need to have those certifications. So obviously, they are meeting those standards. But again, the point comes in that how the user is consuming it. If they are consuming it in day out for months and months, obviously it will have an impact. Okay. So it's more about how we are looking at this particular problem.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Chirag, if you can please speak up, it's little hard to read. If it is possible for you to unmute and discuss your questions. All right, all right. So he basically is saying that they replicated the idea which was already existing. All right. So in this slide of now you should ideally find two, three which are not borrowed from abroad. Our country needs more people who bring an idea which is noble. All right. So that's very true, Chirag. That's very true, and that's why this course is. We want more people like you and all those who are there in the call to come up with fresh and new ideas to address the problem of the nation and come up with a fantastic idea so that you can improve people's lives in a positive way. So what you are telling is true, but then even to establish the entire ecosystem, whether it is Flipkart or Ola, to do that in a country like India is in itself a challenge. Okay, so let us not take away their credit of how much effort they had put in. And in fact, I believe if Ola, they now have their own maps. Okay, so they are not relying on Google as of now. So again, mapping the entire country in such a detailed way wherein you can get each and every gully, that too by Ola, in itself is a humongous task. So they're also doing their bit of innovations, their bit of an effort. But as you also mentioned, that we need more people, which is true. That holds true. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone who has any question regarding the how to use the platform or anything else? So I'll quickly close with sharing the platform because some of you had doubts regarding it. So this is how your screen looks like. Sorry, I think I'm not shared the screen. So last couple of minutes, I'll just show you the portal so that if anybody has not yet responded to or not aware about where the buttons are, where the actionable items are, let's have a very quick look towards it. This is how your portal is. The moment you log in, your email ID should come here. This is where you can actually do the registration. Like I mentioned, the light gray left pane is about the week's content, and all the problem session actually goes to this particular link. So if you click here, it's a link and it opens up this page wherein if you click, it will lead to an Excel sheet. Now, this Excel sheet has the YouTube links. So even for today's session, I'll be uploading it soon. So this is the YouTube link for the week one session. We had around 101 people. Probably today we'll have a lesser amount, I believe. Nevertheless, this is the presentation folder link. And if you click here, you will be able to see the week one PDF. All right. So both of them are clickable and easily accessible. So that won't be a problem for you. Also, what you can also do is you can survey on the problem solving session. It leads to a Google form. This helps in, keeping a documentation of, the sessions. So it will also help me evaluate myself and if I'm able to meet your expectations and if you think anything further can be added, we can also include it. So that's there. As I mentioned, progress will help you evaluate yourself. Assessment scores are showing nil, but it will be applicable and available the moment the deadline is over. Right. So I believe let's check out week one deadline. I think that's also 7th of August, which means that tomorrow you can actually, yeah. So week one, week two deadline is already there. Week 2 is also for 7th of August. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Few more things. You can download the videos through the download section. The transcripts are available. If you click, it will lead you there. And then the lecture notes are also available in probably a PDF format. It will lead you to a link. You click here and you will be able to go through the link. Right. So here you can see for all the 12 lectures, we have the PDFs presentations which are there. So these are quick repositories which you can actually utilize in when you are preparing for your examination because it will help you go through a quick look over it. Also would like to show the Q&A part. It says it is redirecting you to the Google discussion forum and people are still joining in. Is it? We are now about to close the session and then we still see learners joining in. So that's uh, everybody is welcome at any time. All right. So this is how the discussion forum page looks like. You would receive notifications if you respond to it. So we have discussed in this session today, as well as query regarding the who the entrepreneurs are. All right. So with that, I think we can close our session today. Thanks all for being there, for participating in the questions, for sharing your opinions around the questions, and being there for the live sessions. So thank you once again, and we can close the session now. Thank you.